morning, students. Today our topic is Bhimrao Ambedkar and his political thought. This chapter you have to read in paper 2. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar is also known as principal architect of the Indian Constitution and a staunch champion of Dalit rights. He also served as the first Minister of Law and Justice in post-colonial India between 1947 and 1951. He was born on April 14, 1891 in Mau, Indore. His father's name was Ramji Sakpal, who was HM in Army School. His mother's name was Bhima Bai, who was housewife. He was married to Ramabai at the age of 14 years. He was a brilliant student from his childhood. In 1908, Ambedkar got the opportunity to study at the Elphinstone College. He got a scholarship Sahaji Rao Gaikwad, who was ruler of Baroda. He completed his graduation from the Mumbai University in 1912 with political science and economics. He was appointed as the defense secretary to the King of Baroda. He became professor of political economy at Sydenham College of Commerce and Economics in Mumbai. In 1920, he awarded honor of Doctor of Science by the London University. He also completed his education from University of Bonn, Germany. On 8th June 1927, he was awarded a doctorate by the University of Columbia. He wrote many books and his creation is very important for today's political life. One of the books, The Problem of Rupees, Its Origin and Its Solution in 1923. Second is The Evolution of Provincial Finance in British India in 1925. He wrote Annihilation of Caste in 1936, Thoughts on Pakistan in 1946. He wrote a book Rana Day, Gandhi and Jinnah in 1943. Another is What Congress and Gandhi Have Done to Untouchables in 1945, Who Were Sudras 1946, State and Minorities 1947, The Untouchables 1948. The following works were published after the demise in 1956. The Rise and Fall of Indian Women 1965. He had a broad view about women freedom. He always said that I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. He also wrote a book, Dr. Ambedkar on Buddhism in 1982. He started his political life in July 1924 by establishing the Bahiskrit Hitkarni Sabha to raise the education level and economic status of the depressed classes as well as to ventilate the hardship of these classes. Started his paper Bahiskrit Bharat and a weekly paper Mook Nayak to champion the cause of depressed classes in India. He gave us many political thoughts. He always said citizens have power in their own hands in democracy. Democracy rests on four premises where the citizen remains at the center. The individual is an end in itself. The individual has certain inalienable rights which must be guaranteed to him by the Constitution. The individual shall not be required to relinquish any of his constitutional rights as a price of any privilege. The state shall not delegate power to private persons to govern others. Core of political thinking, rights are protected not by law but by the social and moral conscience of society. Social conscience, safeguard of all rights, fundamental or non-fundamental. Once rights are enacted in a law, their safeguard is unwarranted. Democracy is essentially a form of society, a mode of associated living. The roots of democracy are to be searched in the social relationship. Political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of its social democracy. Social democracy is a way of life which recognizes liberty, equality, and fraternity as the principles of life. He always said, I like the religion that teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. Equality is the original notion, and respect for human personality is a reflection of it. If equality is denied, everything else may be taken to be denied. Unless there is a social democracy, power to the people would remain a distant dream. Equality in society, equality before law and administration, constitutional morality, lack of tyranny of majority, and developing public conscience are conditions for the success of democracy in India. Absence of equality on the social and economic plane is a cause of contradiction resulted in a society based on the principle of graded inequality on the social plan, which means in elevation for some, degradation for others. On the economic plane, there are some in society who have immense wealth as against many who live in abject poverty. To deny equality in social and economic life would be putting political democracy in risk. Contribution in drafting of Indian Constitution. Ambedkar was elected as the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution of Independent India on 29 August 1947. There were 7 members in committee, but one of the members resigned whose place was empty all the time. Another person died and that place was also empty. One member lived in America. Ultimately, his place also remained empty. One member was busy with his political duties and could not spare time in the assembly. 1 or 2 people were out of Delhi, hence it was impossible for them to adjust in Delhi's cold weather. Consequently, a situation arose that the entire responsibility for drafting the constitution came upon Ambedkar's shoulder. So his contribution in this role has become unmemorable. So Bhimrao Ambedkar was also known as father of Indian Constitution. Dr. Ambedkar's legal expertise and knowledge of constitutional laws of different countries are very helpful in framing the Indian Constitution. His deep regard for a democratic constitution and insistence upon constitutional morality also helped in this process. In this sense, he is rightly regarded as the architect of the Indian Constitution. He always said, however good a constitution may be, if those who are implementing it are not good, it will prove to be bad. And however bad a constitution may be, if those implementing it are good, it will prove to be good. He also gave views on liberal democracy. Ambedkar's vision of democracy was closely related to his ideal of a good society. What is a good society? A good society is one which is based on liberty, equality, and fraternity, and which embraces rational thinking. For him, means mattered as much as the end. He was staunchly against the ideal of bad means for a good end. Ambedkar's conception of democracy was geared with social transformation and human progress. Any discussion on political democracy inevitably has to deal with economic and social democracies, or else it becomes obsolete. Democratic government requires democratic attitude of mind and proper socialization. So here are views on liberal democracy by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Ambedkar passionately believed in individual freedom and criticized caste society. After a prolonged illness, he died on 6th December 1956 in Delhi. It it is the education. He always said it is the education which is the right weapon to cut slavery. So here are his political thought. What are his views on democracy and political issue? On next day, we will start next chapter. Till then, revise it.